Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome to another Pygame tutorial video. In this video, what we're going to be doing is fixing up our barrier function. Right now, I think I'm still doing 4, yeah. But basically our barrier looks like this. Even if we just called it one time, it's constantly moving. That's no good. So what we want to do is fix this up so we just have one barrier at a time. So basically what we want to be able to do is just call barrier in the function, just like we call tank basically, but it's bouncing around like this. Obviously that makes maybe for kind of an interesting game, but it's not very realistic, as if our tanks game is realistic. But anyway, we just don't want that. So the first thing that we need to do basically is we come up here, and this is where we need to put the parameters of our barrier. Basically, every time game loop runs, that's when the random barrier is, or the random dimensions of that barrier is drawn. And then after that, or thought up, basically, not drawn yet, because it can be drawn every frame, but thought up, and then we draw it every frame, but it's the same stuff every single time. But in order to have it be random, we just basically take the random calculations that we use in our function. So let's get to the function. So here's barrier. Basically, we'll just take this x location at random height, control x, we'll move that, and then we'll pass through here, what was it, x location, and then random height. So we'll pass through those parameters to our barrier function, and since we use the same variable names, we won't have to go through and edit that. Nice. So then we come down here to game loop, and then basically up here, before you get to these while loops, we'll paste, and we've got x location, random height, no problem. Now we'll come down here, and I'm just going to copy x location for now, and then for barrier, we just paste in x location and then random height, like that. And at this point, we should have what we actually intend. So you've got this random barrier here, and we can move our tank and see what is coming, because we can still run into this barrier. So like I was saying before, Pygame doesn't know that, hey, you can't run into objects. You know, you have to code that in. But we've got a barrier, and we saw it was like a small barrier kind of over to the left. So let's run that one more time, play. And now I've got like a giant barrier basically in the middle. Not sure we'd make a shot over that, but maybe if we got like right here, got it over. Okay, and let's try it one more time, make sure that we have things where we want them. Yeah, so it looks like now at this point we've got the barrier where we want it. So now what do we have to do? Well, we still need an enemy tank or a target to shoot at. I think the game would be more fun if we made an actual enemy tank and actually have the enemy tank shooting at us. So we definitely want to have an enemy tank here. The barrier's all fine and dandy. We need to be able to shoot the cannon, which we'll find is somewhat challenging, but we'll get through it. And we made it a little bit easier for ourselves because we hard-coded the turret positions. So we've got that. We want to make sure the tank can't actually drive through the barrier. We already know code for that. As far as going off the screen is concerned, we could put in some code to stop the user from doing that. Not in this type of game. I'm not really too concerned about that, simply because we're just going to make it so in order to fire the cannon, you can't move after you've fired it. So it's not like someone can move, like fire and then move off the screen for the other user to fire at them. So I don't really think that's a big issue, but we do want to make it so the tank can't go through the barrier. So we've got the barrier, running into the barrier, shooting, and we've got enemy tank, and we want that enemy tank also to be able to shoot at us with some sort of artificial intelligence. And don't worry, that sounds really confusing, but we'll make it. You'll see how simple artificial intelligence can be, as well as adding like a degree of challenge to that artificial intelligence. So we've got that, and then we also need some way of like tracking like health of the tanks and stuff like that, like how much is the tank like blowing up or about to blow up or whatever, dead or alive basically. So we've got that, and then basically those are the main things that we need to have in this game still, so we definitely want to add that. I think probably the most exciting thing will be adding the artificial intelligence to the tank. And then with that, that's basically how we can make the game more challenging or not. So with that, we'll conclude this video, and we'll carry on with our barrier in the next video, and then we'll probably start firing our cannon, because that's exciting too. So anyway, stay tuned for the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time.